Hello, everyone. Welcome to Breakfast All Day. Christy Lemire, Alonso Duralde. Opening today, December 17th in theaters, a film called The Novice, which may well have gone below your radar, but it is now coming into theaters as a 5-time Independent Spirit Award nominee. So if that doesn't get you into the theater, perhaps this discussion will. Christy, what's this movie about?
I think it's also streaming.
You're right. Actually, that is correct. It is in theaters and on VOD, so you don't have to go out and risk things.
But if you can see it in a theater for the sound design alone,
sure,
because
yes.
writer, director, and co-editor Lauren Hadaway began her career as a sound designer and has worked with like Tarantino and Zack Snyder and Damien Chazelle. And so the thing that grabs you off the top with this is like how intricately and delicately the sound design is interwoven between, you know, the splash of water and wind and breath and birds and like the scribbling of a pencil or like the pounding of
the cables on a rowing exercise machine.
Right, the ergs that they, yeah. So this is about a young woman played by Isabelle Fuhrman, who is just fantastic. She just tears it up. We'll get to that. Isabelle Fuhrman, who I think prior to this was probably best known for starring in Orphan. God damn, she was so creepy in that. She's so good. And so she plays a young woman named Alex, who is a freshman at some very Tony private university on the East Coast. And she goes out for the rowing team. And she is a very intense young woman about everything. She's very type A, very driven. And she wants not only to make the rowing team, but make it onto the top varsity boat within her first year. And so it's about her journey of trying to juggle her academics and her athletics and driving herself and pushing her body and her mind to the brink of breaking in the pursuit of athletic excellence. And it's about how the harder she tries to succeed here, like the more of an outsider she becomes. And even though she is, you know, about as good as the older girls on the team, like they never accept her. And she's always the odd woman out. Her frenemy, who is also a freshman who tries out, played by Amy Forsyth, is more of a natural athlete of the two of them and more of a natural rower of the two of them. And so that gives Alex a target to shoot for. So like they think they're on the same page and they're helping each other, but perhaps not. It's interesting. Movies about men, movies about male athletes who put themselves through this kind of grind, who pursue this kind of grueling, rigorous routine in the pursuit of athletic excellence. They're often held up as like this great goal, this great standard. And like, it's a noble pursuit. It's a heroic pursuit. You look at things like from Rocky to the Karate Kid and like name a sports movie where somebody strives to be the absolute best.
Right.
And that is hailed as like a great thing to be. But with women, this kind of really intense drive is viewed as crazy. She's a crazy bitch. What's wrong with her? And so what I love about this, Lauren Hadaway is really interested in exploring that spark that drives that kind of obsession. She based her experiences on having been on the rowing team at my alma mater of Southern Methodist University. Go Fire Up Stangs. Yeah, hootie. And so she, you know, clearly brings a lot of her own personal experience as far as the details of rowing. I don't know a whole lot about rowing, but I assume that as far as like the, you know, the technology and the terminology and the times and all that, I relate to this character in that she's like constantly checking her times and like, how can I get a few seconds faster? And how can I make it a little bit better? I get that. Like as a runner, I'll look at my times when I go on a run and say, oh, I did that mile like 2 seconds faster. And there's satisfaction in that. So I get that. I don't put my body through what she puts her body through. And I don't think Lauren Hadaway is holding it up as like an example of what kind of path to pursue, but I think she wants to understand. She wants to understand why somebody would put herself on that path.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to sort of pathologize, or sort of very easy to pathologize this character. And the movie is too smart for that. And so you have somebody who is their own worst critic and their own toughest coach and their own sort of like, you know, it's not like they're trying to please a parent or an authority figure. It's themselves, and Furman's performance is just incredibly intense, and the physicality that she brings to it, and the sense of the punishing drive that the character has, you really read from this performance. And this is just a really intense experience with, as you said, the sound editing laid on top of it. So you've got this really great central performance that pulls you into what this character is about and what she's doing, and then this world that's created around her. This is an intense movie, and I am not remotely that competitive about anything ever, but I understood where this character was coming from, and you get to know more and more of what she's about. And, for me, as somebody who has been writing about, queer film and working at queer film festivals, to see a character who, among all the things that she is a lesbian, and like, that's not even the fifth most interesting thing that the film has to focus on. It's just there, and she has a relationship, and she has a girlfriend who is like trying to sort of at times save her from her own impulses and her own driving goals and ambition, but I liked that that's just incorporated into this world and into this character as no without any kind of pearl clutching. So I think this movie is really great.
And the actress, the model actress who plays her girlfriend, is a woman named Dilone, who is like lanky and cool and alluring, and the whole supporting cast is really great. All the actors who play the coaches, Jonathan Cherry, Kate Drummond, Charlotte Ubben, especially, who are all like trying to, they see what she is putting herself through. And they're all like, relax, slow down, novice. You're going to kill yourself. It's not worth it. You're a freshman. You've got plenty of time, but nobody can get through to her. Isabelle Fuhrman does so much. It's a really physically and emotionally and psychologically demanding role, but there's also great subtlety to it. Like just what she'll do with like her eyes during conversation, or how her body language, how the way she carries herself changes over the course of the film. It's all really subtle. There are really subtle little details, like she'll be eating breakfast in the school commissary with her childhood friend, who's also a freshman there. And it's like sausage and eggs, and she's like trying to bulk up to work hard. But then the frenemy shows up with like a giant plate full of fruit. She's got this giant plate full of bananas and apples and oranges. She just dumps the whole thing into her backpack. And then Alex will just grab a banana and put it in her backpack too. So things like, there's little details like that make this whole experience feel very true. And she tries to go through all the motions of being, a fun college freshman, and nothing can get in her way. It's all about the focus of this. And I get that. So I really enjoyed it. It's really intense. The score is fantastic. It's a very string heavy score that like adds to the like propulsive momentum of it, and underscores her psychological state. I will say that maybe Lauren Hadaway goes a few times too many on some of the visual, like symbolic imagery of ravens cawing menacingly, or like the crab in the boiling water, like a few times too many. We get that she's suffering through a deteriorating mental state. Right. And so I think like that might be a little too repetitive and too obvious, but this is a quibble.
Yeah. This was, I already did my top 10 list for the wrap, and I had quite a few runners up, and this was one of them. So
yeah, this is definitely up there for me too. We'll do our top 10 in next month, but this would be in like an 11th spot. So I'm saying 9.
I said 8.8. I'm right there with you. So that's an 8.9 from us.
Yep. The Novice is out there in theaters and streaming.
Yes. So by all means, check it out. It is something else. Thanks for watching. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We are wrapping up our season 2 coverage of Hulu's The Great. We are close to the end of Disney Plus's Hawkeye, and lots of other fun stuff that only subscribers get, including videos like this with no commercial interruption. So if you wanted to get caught up on our extra content over the holidays, become a subscriber. It's all there in the back archives for you. Have a good week, everybody. We will be back on Wednesday with one last show of 2021 to get in some of those Christmas releases. So join us then, and until then, Cheers. Bye.
Bye.